country singer-songwriter Jimbo Stokes, who was based in Scone in New South Wales, lovely town, recently launched his latest single, Hold On, Let's Go, that you just heard. And it's no surprise that it's another cracker of a song from this highly talented songsmith. Born and raised on a sheep and cattle station near Tamworth, Jimbo returned to the Hunter, New England region at the beginning of 2022 after working, studying and playing rugby in Sydney. Interestingly enough, country hasn't always been Jimbo's musical home, given that he was trained as an operatic tenor under Christine Douglas, the director and founder of Pacific Opera. But he returned to his first true love during the COVID shutdown and hasn't looked back. Now, I'm certainly no art critic, but to my eye, Jimbo's artworks, especially his sketches, are truly amazing. They're so full of detail and character, and there can be no doubt that he's clearly an extremely gifted visual artist, as well as also being highly talented musically. You can check out his art at jimbostokes.com and click on the art tab. And check out the rest of the site as well while you're there. This year has been Jimbo's biggest one yet in music, and I'm personally keen to get my hands on anything he releases because I know it's going to be absolutely top quality and well worth adding to the Country Club playlist. I first interviewed Jimbo on this program back in June of last year, and I'm delighted to have him once again standing by on the phone, waiting to have another chat with me today. So why not bring him on air right now? Hello, Jimbo. How are you?
G'day, Harry. Well, thanks. How's it going?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. Terrific. Looking forward to Christmas in a couple of days. So, yeah, another year gone, eh?
Yeah, it is. It's gone quickly the last few months, but no, it's a good time of year. Christmas is coming up, New Year's. Yeah, very much into silly season.
Yep. Silly season is right. Yeah, they've named that well, I think. This part of
year. Yeah, no, it's definitely. You start hearing the Christmas carols. You know, it's time to kind of relax for a bit, but there's still plenty going on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to a little break.
That's good. That's good. I've got to say, welcome again once again to the Country Club. It's always a real joy to have you on the show. So even though this is only the second time, but I had such a great conversation with you last time back in June of last year that I'm looking forward to this one. No,
it's a pleasure to be on. So thanks very much for the support and getting me on to chat.
No problem, mate. You're ticking all the boxes, so you got my support. Now, let's talk about this latest single of yours, Hold On, Let's Go, that I just played a minute ago. Tell us the story behind that, and did you write that on your own, or was it a co-write?
Yeah, so the concept was looking at a song that was a bit more upbeat and a bit of a rev-up tune, sort of Friday night, weekend vibe. So I jumped on a co-write with Phil Barton, who's a great writer based over in Asheville.
Right.
I'd had every song I release, I try and make it quite different from the one before, but I felt like I needed a really sort of good feel, kind of up-tempo, summery song. So
yep.
That was the kind of the remit for it, and a couple of sessions with Phil, who's the first time I'd written with him, but it was a good combo, and then jumped in the studio with Rod McCormack to shape it up, so he produced it. But really happy with how it turned out.
Wow, okay, you can't go wrong with Rod, eh? He knows what he's doing.
No, he's definitely a safe pair of hands, Rod. So it was a lot of fun, both writing it and then fiddling around in the studio and getting it to completion.
Yeah, it would have been. It's a lot of hard work, but it's very rewarding, I think, isn't it?
In terms of releasing, look, I find the writing and the recording the funnest part of the whole music space. I love performing as well, but there's something about just taking something from nothing and just creating that and getting it out there and getting people to listen to it. And people are pretty honest. They either like it or they don't. But it's always a bonus when it's well received.
Yes, it is. Yes, it's a well-deserved reward. I think
Thanks. Yeah, thanks for that, Harry. Yeah, definitely. Each song's kind of built some nice momentum for me, and this one's definitely sort of up the ante with that as well. So it's getting some good steam. But yeah, lots to come. So looking forward to getting the next one out. I'm actually back in the studio tomorrow morning to shape up the next song. So plenty to come.
All right, don't let the grass grow under your feet, mate.
No, that's it. You kind of always got to try and be a couple of steps
fair
ahead.
enough.
And by the time you release a song, it's always at least a few weeks have passed. So it's good to keep looking forward, I think.
Yep. All right. So where can people actually go and buy your music? I mean, you got the socials and all that sort of stuff, but have you got a website where people can go and buy your music?
Yeah. There's no physical copies of this one at this stage, but keen to get either an EP or album together, hopefully next year.
Okay.
But yeah, Apple Music in terms of downloading, but I'm on all platforms, so Spotify, Apple, I think everyone you could think of, and I'll keep everyone up to date on my social media as well, Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. So it shouldn't be hard to find the music or a bit more about me.
Yeah. Fair enough. All right. Yeah. That's good. Now, in the intro, I mentioned that you've been trained as an operatic tenor, and I'm just curious why you went on to do country music instead of following on with it.
Yeah, look, I was born and raised up. Well, I'm in Scone at the moment, but in Tamworth. A farm near Tamworth. So country was always a pretty big part of my life, and I always sort of sang with a country style. But when I was in Sydney, I wanted a bit of a creative outlet, so started training classically or operatically. I liked the kind of the real sort of fundamental foundation that it provided in just getting your voice working. And I think once you get the basics, you can kind of apply that to any genre. So country was always the goal, but just I think getting that training has definitely helped my confidence vocally. So that was probably, without ever really aspiring to be an operatic singer, tenor, I was very appreciative for the sort of building blocks it provided me.
Yeah, I was going to explore that with you, but you've covered that quite well. I'd like to, just briefly talk to you about your artworks, because I am so very impressed with the sketches up on your website. They're amazing.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, thanks, Harry. I've always dabbled in a bit of art. I did some at school, and then I started doing some more commission-style pieces a few years ago. So It's something now. Yeah, it's a nice balance to be able to just get the pencils out or paintbrushes. I'm doing less. I guess I'm probably getting more busier with music and not having enough time for the artwork stuff. But it's a nice little outlet again. So it's something that every now and then it's cool to do something a bit different.
I had a look at your website a few days ago, and I think, now I could be wrong here, but I think you've added 2 or 3 more sketches from the last time I looked at your website, which is probably about a year ago or so now. But would that be the case, or have you not added anything?
Look, I've done more for sure. I'm actually just finishing off one now.
Okay.
A couple sort of just personal little Christmas presents for friends.
Oh.
So yeah, I still do it. Just not quite as sort of active in that space as I once was. I might, whenever I get a bit of extra time, I dive into it. But no, I think it's a good sign when you're busy enough. But it is a fun little outlet.
Well, you seem to be pretty good at anything you take on. You know, you got your artwork and you got the music, and I understand that music is your focus at the moment. But I really do hope that you don't put the pencils away entirely, because you do seem to be extremely talented in that regard. So it's something I hope that you sort of maybe keep to one side.
I enjoy it, so I will keep doing it. It's one of those things. Good. You enjoy doing it, then it's sort of hard not to keep doing it.
Yeah.
But I also love, the writing and performing, and so both kind of bring something different. But it's nice to have that balance where you can dabble in a bit of both.
Yeah, that's true. Like I said, you're obviously a very talented individual, so you got to tick the box there. Now, I'm just curious, when it comes to music, or country music, who do you regard as your main influences, if you have any? Who are your main influences with regard to your songwriting? And
I don't think that there's any real sort of individual. I listen to a lot of really broad range of music, really. I listen to a lot of Johnny Cash and Garth Brooks and some 90s kind of country, Toby Keith,
right?
Those sorts of people, as well as recently more Morgan Wallen and Luke Combs.
Okay.
So I like listening to a lot of different music, and not just country.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to narrow it down to one or two. I think sort of go by the mantra that a good song's a good song.
Yep.
So when I'm writing, whether it's a message or it's often story based, writing about my own experiences. It's not too heavily influenced by any one artist, I'd say. It's good to pick up ideas and things from different people along the way. But
mm-hmm.
I'd say my music, and over the 6 songs that I've released, it's quite diverse. So each song's quite a bit different to the one before, and I like that in a way. I like releasing stuff that has a point of difference, and I'll probably keep trying to do that.
Fair enough. Now, you have done live performances, haven't you?
Yeah. So busy performing. Had a pretty busy last couple of months around the state here, and got to Groundwater a couple of months ago at the festival there in the Gold Coast, and then I've got a little break now, a couple of weeks off, and then back up to Tamworth at the Country Music Festival. So I've got my own sort of headline ticketed show there this year, which is a nice milestone at the Tamworth Hotel on Australia Day. So looking forward to that in a few weeks.
Okay, tell us more about that. What time do you go on?
It'll be about afternoon show, so 3 to 6 p.m. I've got a talented girl and her band supporting me, so she'll be opening up about 3 o'clock, and then myself and the band will get playing in about 4:30.
Okay.
So cool to get back to Tamworth. As I mentioned, I grew up around there, and I've been back for the festival the last few years and have played at the Tamworth Hotel. It's one of my favourite places to play in Tamworth. So nice to be going back there, and it's a unique milestone having your own ticketed show. It'll be the first time I've done it. So excited about that one.
Okay, fair enough. All right, that sounds good. So there you go, folks. If you're heading off to Tamworth, make sure you pop in and catch Jimbo at the Tamworth Hotel on Australia Day. Yeah, so that'll be worth. Be well worth your effort. Alrighty. So, as a live performer, I've got to ask, what's been your most memorable experience so far?
Look, Tamworth's always good at the festival. I was in the Star Maker competition at the start of the year.
Okay.
And that was pretty unique. I'd say Groundwater, a month or 2 months ago, was a very cool experience as well. Just having that whole festival right on the water there at Broad Beach at the Gold Coast.
Wow, yeah.
so that was a step up as well for me. But yeah, looking forward to next year. So I'll be announcing plenty of new shows and festivals over the next couple of months.
Okay.
But it'll definitely be the biggest so far in terms of performing.
Okay, so what's your favourite thing about being, performing in front of a live crowd?
Yeah, look, I think it's being able to have a show where I've got enough of my own songs now that I'm proud of, both released and unreleased, to make it quite a coherent show, and there's a good range there as well. So I like taking the audience on a bit of a journey, I guess. Some slower, more personal songs and some more upbeat songs. But I think in terms of the most satisfying thing, it's seeing that connection with the audience, whether they're singing along to your songs or whether they're listening to you sort of describe what the song's about. I think it's, seeing that engagement. You do the work behind the scenes, writing and recording and everything else, but being able to get that live sort of instant reaction is probably one of my favourite parts of performing.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Alrighty, now we're nearly out of time, but if you can just quickly tell us what's next for, apart from Tamworth, what else you got coming up? You're working on an album, you mentioned. How's that going?
Yeah, look, lots of new music. So back in the studio tomorrow to get a new single lined up. I'd like to get over to Nashville next year at some stage as well. Lots of new performances and different shows that I'll be announcing soon as well. So
Excellent.
It'll be a busy year. First stop is up in Tamworth, but plenty to come. So both in new releases and live performances. So if anyone wants to stay up to date, please jump on my Instagram or Facebook, and we'll keep everyone up to date there.
Excellent. All right. Well, that's great. Great news. All right, and I'll keep an eye on you on your website as well. Keep checking out your artwork and stuff, because I'm so amazed at that. Look, thank you so much, Jimbo, for taking the time to have a chat with me here on your Sunday afternoon.
Thanks.
And
thanks.
Really do appreciate it. So,
thanks very much, and thank you to your listeners, and appreciate all the support. Always good to chat. Hope you have a great Christmas and New Year, and I'm sure we'll speak again soon.
No worries. Look forward to it. And you have a good Christmas and New Year too. Have a safe one. Keep look after yourself and the people you love. So good stuff. And I'll talk to you next year sometime, I hope.
Looking forward to it. Sounds great. Thanks again.
All right. Thanks very much, Jimbo. And all the best to you.